For February 16, 2024, this is a 10-minute writing session. I'm working on a Grobug Tale. I'm doing notes for these CritterBot characters for, well, one of the Grobug Tales that I've written, or that's still a work in progress, actually. And yeah, so here I'm writing down, editing what I had Frank helped me develop, which was something for one of the CritterBot Guardians, who are these 4 creatures who are destined basically to save CritterBot Island from a malefic force. And the CritterBot in question, or CritterBot Guardian in question I should say, is Timbertail, who is a monkey-like creature who is actually made of plant. He's a vegetable being, a vegetable beast, a vegetation animal beast thingy. Plantimal, as you might want to call it, or as some people might call it. Anyway, so he's one of those things, and Frank came up with these abilities for me. He named them and gave them, you know, stats or details or whatever, and I generally liked the idea of them, but I wasn't satisfied with them. Like I said in the last video with Cinder Stripe, his abilities, I decided to change them. So here I am. I only got through the first ones in these like 10 minutes or so, and in the next 10-minute session I hope to get his passive non-combat abilities taken care of as well. So yeah, the CritterBots are something, part of the reason I use Frank to help me create their abilities and such, and even come up with names for them, is because I had a method, which was I wanted it to be like animal plus, well, for these guys, element plus, what is it? Yep, element plus animal. And for the standard CritterBots, it's animal plus machine or function. So like there's the Squeak Miner family that appears in this Grobug Tale as well, in a kind of flashback type of scene, and they're basically mice CritterBots that are specially equipped with machinery for digging and delving and tunneling and things like that. So that's what a Squeak Miner is, and it's kind of in the name, you can kind of hear it, but you know, lots of things squeak and lots of things can be miners, and by that I mean, you know, diggers in the ground. And anyway, I think it's a cute concept. I think it's a cute way for that to go, and like to me, in stuff like this where it's kind of a derivative, you know, you come up with a model or a formula for something, it's more important to craft the formula. And like I said, I had Frank help me generate names for them, and I, you know, tweaked, or I think did I tweak all of them? Yeah, I may or may not have tweaked all of them. That doesn't really matter. I'm doing the rewriting, as you can see on these abilities, and I basically rewrote the little personalities off of the prompting that he gave me. So that's pretty nice. But I'm not treating them as throwaway characters. I'm just treating them as characters that I'm less fixated on who they are, how they work, and all that good stuff. Instead, I'm trying to figure out how to work with this cast of characters that, you know, have been created / are partially created, and I'm finishing off creating them. So that's what I'm doing. So, you know, all of these, you know, these 3 combat abilities, I wasn't satisfied with what they were. Do the combat abilities matter? I mean, yes, they do, because practically, I have this TYPHOON writing system that I'm developing, where I have it laid out so that you can spin any story, just TYPHOON pun, you can spin any story or any idea into a story, whether it's a children's picture book, a young reader's chapter book, a middle grade book, a novel, an epic fantasy, whatever. You should be able to, with my method, take any idea and scale it into a story of any size. And my idea is that you need to think about the players, which are the characters, the props, which are the special items that they use throughout the story. I'm not talking about a shovel, I'm talking about, you know, a adamantium shovel meant for digging through stars, or whatever. I don't know where that came from. The places, you know, the specific settings where special things happen. That's where action set pieces take place, or, you know, secret base, HQ type thing. And what's the last one? Oh, I guess the plot. So, right now I'm developing the, and I guess these special abilities are prop-like elements that the CritterBots have. And like I said, I have a thin character sketch for the 4 CritterBot Guardians, and I am thinking in this like mechanistic way, because if I want to tell these stories, if I'm going to either do a detailed outline, or if I'm going to discovery writer pants it, I have to be able to have the elements. And when I've done a lot of pantsing recently, and as I'm doing that, it's difficult because I'll get stuck and slow down in a place where I just don't know what exactly to do with the characters. So I figure if I create a system and a process wherein I take time to develop the props, the places, the players, and the plots, then I can kind of mix and match those things as I like and say, okay, well, I have these players, they utilize these props, and that could be heroes or villains, and the props, could be anything. These are the places I want the stuff to take place in, and these are the plots I can explore. That's, to me, is like a formula for infinite storytelling, which is something I very much like. I do enjoy a lot of long series, and seeing them crafted in a way where as the series continues, it never feels repetitive. It doesn't feel like it drags. It feels like everything's kind of a fresh take. Each step, each instance, each episode along the way, and that's very satisfying to me as a reader, and I want to be able to provide that to other people. So I figure with these CritterBots, I'm not necessarily going to write a story with them all of their own. They're going to feature in another story, but doing this fundamental work here, figuring out what their abilities are, what they look like, what their names are, some of their personality, I can save that, log that away for myself somewhere, and then in the future, I was even talking about this earlier with one of my kids, I could write a whole CritterBot story if I want to based on the work that I'm doing here and now, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I hope you enjoyed that. Go to mjmunoz.com to leave any questions, comments, or other feedback you might have. There you can find all of my analysis, art, and fiction. I cover books, tokusatsu, comic books, anime, and more. Look around. You're sure to find something else that you'll enjoy as well. This has been a Story Over Everything production.